one papa, two mamas? I cannot conclude this subject of contrasting and comparing the Old and New Covenants without this beautiful lesson from Apostle Paul's writings to the church in Galatia. The book of Galatians is a beautiful piece on the defense of the gospel of Christ. Apostle Paul was writing to the believers who started with the grace of the New Testament, and later allowed themselves to be bewitched by some Judaizers, who put them under the law of the Old Covenant. If you are wondering whether a Christian can be subject to the law of the Old Covenant, then look closely at the book of Galatians. It was this problem that Apostle Paul sought to address. Grace and law, that is, the New Covenant and the Old Covenant, are like water and oil. You cannot mix them together. The law places emphasis on your performance, which does not amount to anything as has been explained earlier. Grace focuses on Jesus and his finished work. It is for this reason that Apostle Paul was ballistic in his firing of the Galatian church. Galatians 3 verses 1-3. O foolish Galatians, who hath bewitched you, that ye should not obey the truth, before whose eyes Jesus Christ hath been evidently set forth, crucified among you. This only would I learn of you, received ye the Spirit by the works of the law, or by the hearing of faith? Are ye so foolish? Having begun in the Spirit, are ye now made perfect by the flesh? This clearly tells you that the people began with grace, unmerited favor, and then turned to the law, their works, for perfection. This is the reason for his harshness. He was never harsh when he was even addressing the immoral church of Corinth. This should tell you that mixture of grace and law has no place in the presence of God. It was in addressing the issues that he made a beautiful allegory to drum home his point. This allegory concerns Abraham, Sarah his wife, and Hagar the servant. Galatians 4 verses 21-31. Tell me, ye that desire to be under the law, do ye not hear the law? For it is written that Abraham had two sons, the one by a bondmaid, the other by a free woman. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, but he of the free woman was by promise. Which things are an allegory, for these are the two covenants. The one from the Mount Sinai, which gendereth to bondage, which is Agar. For this Agar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answereth to Jerusalem which now is, and is in bondage with her children. But Jerusalem which is above is free, which is the mother of us all. For it is written, Rejoice, thou barren that bearest not, break forth and cry, thou that travailest not, for the desolate hath many more children than she which hath an husband. Now we, brethren, as Isaac was, are the children of promise. But as then he that was born after the flesh persecuted him that was born after the Spirit, even so it is now. Nevertheless, what says Scripture? Cast out the bondwoman and her son, for the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman. So then, brethren, we are not children of the bondwoman, but of the free. Yes, we see that Abraham had two sons from two women. The sons are Isaac and Ishmael. Ishmael is from the bondwoman, Hagar, and Isaac is from the free woman, Sarah. How was Ishmael born? He was born because Abraham listened to his wife, Sarah, in their quest of performance, to help God. Genesis 16 verses 1-3. Now Sarai Abram's wife bare him no children, and she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold now, the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid, it may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. And Sarai Abram's wife took Hagar her maid the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. So we see that Ishmael was not given by promise but came out of a man's desire to help God. He was the result of man's performance. Hagar was taken from Egypt, which is a picture of the world. Therefore, man was using worldly or fleshly means to help God. The product was Ishmael. How was Isaac born? He came into existence based on the promise. Genesis 21 verses 1-3. And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived, and bare Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. From this, we understand how Isaac was born. It was by the fulfillment of the promise made by God to Abraham. Sarah, the mother of Isaac, was what God desired. So we see one father, Abraham, and two mothers, Sarah and Hagar. The allegory is that the two women represent the two covenants, Hagar the old covenant from Sinai and Sarah, the new covenant from Zion, Jerusalem from above. By implication, Sarai, who is free, is a picture of grace, who gave birth to Isaac, not according to performance but according to the promise. Alternatively, Hagar, who is a bondwoman, a picture of the law, gave birth to Ishmael, as a result of man's performance. The law is seen as bondage, and for that matter, her children are also in bondage. Who wants to be in bondage? Certainly, no one, in their right senses, will like that. But that was the bewitchment the church in Galatia came under. It was as if a spell had been cast on them, for them to desire bondage. They sought to follow after their performance, in order to merit God's goodness. This is the same situation facing the church today. After one is graciously saved, one is taught to depend on his effort or performance in order to merit the goodness and the blessings of God. This is absolutely the bewitchment mentioned in the book of Galatians. For some reason, you will notice that, when one depends on self-effort or performance, the result appears to be quicker. But don't be deceived. It is not lasting. Just like Ishmael, who came first, but did not last in the house. Galatians 4 verse 30. Nevertheless, what saith the Scripture? Cast out the bondwoman and her son, for the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman. Ishmael, who is the result of man's performance, did not stay in the house. He was cast out. He also did not partake of the inheritance from the father. However, Isaac, who was the product of grace, stayed permanently in his father's house. Beyond that, the inheritance of the father was his, for the taking. Genesis 25 verse 5. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. The ultimate of this allegory is about inheritance. The product of grace got it, whilst the product of law missed out. Abraham is a picture of our Father in heaven with two women, one grace and the other law. Seeing the ultimate results, I believe that you will subscribe to that of grace. Apostle Paul makes this clear for the believer in his conclusion. Galatians 4 verse 31. So then, brethren, we are not children of the bondwoman, but of the free. As children of the free woman, that is to say, grace, let's walk in this consciousness. Our inheritance is embedded in that. Also, though the children of the law and grace have the same Father, it is the children of the law who persecuted the children of grace. Galatians 4 verse 29. But as then he that was born after the flesh persecuted him that was born after the Spirit, even so it is now. Genesis 21 verse 9. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, which she had borne unto Abraham, mocking. Yes, that is usually the case. You will see the religious folks and those who hold on to the law, mocking or persecuting those under grace. There are all sorts of criticisms made against those teaching grace and functioning under the grace of the new covenant, as if it is heresy or abnormal to function under grace. Meanwhile, functioning under law is bringing yourself under bewitchment. It is interesting to note that those who cast the spell of bewitchment on the believers in the Church of Galatia and on believers functioning under grace in this age are the respected leaders or men and women of God. Under law, there is therefore magnification of the flesh or the works of man than the work of Christ. Refuse to be under any bewitchment. Enjoy your life under this beautiful covenant of grace.